It's for the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for August 22nd, 2020. Normally, we'd be seeing AEW Dynamite and, well, my review earlier in the week because normally we see it on Wednesday. However, the NBA Finals have pushed AEW Dynamite back, not only to Saturday here for this week, but by several minutes as the game finished up. We're starting off the show with no entrances, just matches. It's FTR taking on Private Party. And you would have thought Private Party might have done a little better than normal here in this match now that they have Matthew Hardy on their side, training them, helping them learn from one of the best, or at least one of the best tag teams in wrestling in the past couple of decades here. But you know what, hey, Private Party didn't do so well going against FTR. Now FTR, they have been winning quite a bit. They, on paper, are very successful here in AEW. I don't really know why Tully Blanchard is with FTR. Maybe as a way to make them feel better about their position here in AEW and how they've been presenting them and booking them outside of the ring as far as segments and interviews go. Maybe they needed some help on the microphone. Maybe we'll see here later tonight. But FTR wins this one, another solid victory for them. Now, Moxley, he's going to talk. He is the AEW champion, and he's talking about his faults. People bringing up his faults, like MJF. And he says, you want to talk about my faults, you should ask my wife. I'm one of the toughest guys, and I don't talk much. Yeah, I would agree with toughest guys don't talk much. However, Moxley continues to run his mouth, and the irony is not lost on me. Why are you going to bring up your successful wife over there in WWE? I know that she's going to be leaving Renee Young or whatever, but if you're going to be this crazy, unhinged guy, and your wife is this very successful talent in another wrestling organization, I mean, how does that further your character? I don't know. But he said it anyways, and he says that MJF will one day lose his virginity, move out of his mom's house, and become a champion, but it won't be on Moxley's dime. So, okay, yeah. Now we see a MJF promo where we see Nina. She's in the background. She's smiling big. Kind of weird because she's been told to smile in the past, and now on the one occasion that you would expect her probably not to be smiling, she is. I mean, it's very fake, forced smile. But we see MJF. He is in a neck brace because of the violent attack last week, because of the paradigm shift. He's got a walker. His walker has the same pattern as his scarf. He's got a shaky voice, but the message is clear. He's got a tear in his eyes. The paradigm shift hurt him. So, of course, he's being a huge baby here. He's got an attorney that says that the paradigm shift is dangerous, and somehow they've gotten 5 million signatures. From who? I mean, 5 million people are not watching AEW, not now, not ever. But the paper says that the paradigm shift is banned. His attorney has this paper, and he needs Jon Moxley to sign it to agree. I imagine that Jon Moxley will probably end up signing this document. I mean, in reality, you should just tear it up and do it again. Because obviously MJF is being a big baby. Of course, this does put over the fact that the paradigm shift is a strong, important, dangerous move, but dangerous in the way that you win. I guess Jon Moxley could wrestle a match without his paradigm shift, but then that would just allow MJF to cheat more and to use it against him. Yeah. So we'll see as the weeks go on if they actually go through with this. I think it would just be kind of dumb for Moxley to willingly sign away the one move that he has procured to win his victory, the paradigm shift. I mean, it's his finisher, and yeah, I would not agree with just getting rid of it just for the sake of this story. I mean, come on. MJF, just get over it, bro. Just get over it, man. Okay, now we're going to go into 8-man tag match right here. Get ready for tag matches. You're going to be seeing a lot of them here. Actually, you'll be seeing a lot of them next week, and I guess just expect to see a ton of tag matches. I don't really agree with the amount of tag matches that they have, but that's what they do. So if you like tag matches, you must be swimming in some happy times. The Lucha Brothers, the Butcher and Blade versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, QT Marshall, and you got Dustin Rhodes with Marco Stunt. So here we go with this. Jungle Boy hits a missile dive on the outside. I don't know how or why, but he does. But he makes up for it by doing 2 more of them. Luchasaurus hits the worst chokeslam I've seen since Undertaker Hogan at Judgment Day 2002. Seriously don't know what the heck was going on in that particular spot. But Jungle Boy gets the pin on Blade. Blade is very upset at this. Eddie Kingston, he's signed, he's official, he is a talent here in AEW officially. What's he going to be doing? People have been wondering, speculating, what is his purpose going to be? Because obviously, you know, this guy is such a great talent. He's going to be such a welcomed member, such a needed necessity, such a integral part of AEW. Where is he going to fit here in the puzzle pieces? Well, apparently, we're going to find out right now. Because I'm going to tell you. So Eddie Kingston, he comes down and is asking everybody in the ring why they are not the tag team champions. You mean every one of them individually, or why one of the teams individually isn't a tag team? And he's talking to the bad guys, of course. We're talking about Butcher, Blade, Lucha Brothers, rather. And yeah, he wants them to walk with Eddie. He asks the Butcher, or he tells the Butcher actually, he tells this man that he is one of the baddest men in the company. And he's not wrong, depending on how you look at it. And he has everybody get in a big circle, and they don't hug, but they have like a big huddle circle where they all have arms on each other. And then Eddie winks at the camera. I don't know what the wink was about. I don't think that was supposed to be mischievous, but he's trying to bring all these guys together because he knows them, and him knowing some of them brings them together. So Eddie Kingston is now the leader of this group. Eddie Kingston, Butcher and Blade, and the Lucha Brothers. I mean, just what we need in AEW is more large groups, because that's really what we need. We need large groups. Divide all the talent up into large groups. That's just do that. Just do that, because that seems to be what they're doing. We're gonna have to wait further in the future to see what happens here. If Eddie Kingston is going to wrestle, if he's just going to be a mouthpiece. I mean, I could do with his promos. I mean, he's not a bad promo, but I just don't understand what's the point. What are we doing here? Well, I know what we're doing right here. We have Britt Baker. She's in the gym. She has her Reba with her. And Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, they are just outside of the shot. As we pan over, we see them making out. Britt Baker's like, you shouldn't do that because it's bad for you. You could get cavities, which is no joke. So Britt Baker asked if she can do their dentistry, and Reba will do their makeup for a year. I don't exactly remember what Britt Baker was bargaining here, but it is agreed. That's what will happen. Britt Baker is good, but everybody else looked very indie. They were silly. They were funny. I mean, not funny in like a good way, but silly, like ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would shoot it like this, but Britt Baker, she's the important one here, so let's focus on that. Britt Baker looked good. She sounded good. I like her. Can't wait for her nose to repair. Wait for her injuries to be over so she can be back in the ring and doing her thing. Next up, we have Tony Schiavone. He is in the ring with Orange Cassidy, a man of few words, well, except for when he's doing the debate. He's here to talk about his big win, and the Best Friends come out with him, which at first I didn't really understand why the Best Friends are there. If I was Orange Cassidy, I would try to distance myself from the Best Friends, but not at this particular point. He doesn't say anything, of course. He just waits for Jericho to come down slowly with a bottle of bubbly in his hand. Wasn't sure why he had the bubbly, because the bubbly hasn't been a prominent feature here with Jericho recently, but Jericho congratulates Orange, and Chris wants a third match to break their tie. Yeah, I don't know how many other people are super excited to see a third match with them, but I think I've seen enough, but maybe, just maybe, Chris Jericho can make it worth our while. Do you think he can? Well, check this out. He's going to do something special. He was the innovator of the Money in the Bank. So Jericho, after all of these years, has something new for us to consider. He has the Mimosa Mayhem match. He wants to do this at September 5th. So he proposes that they have this match, although they already have a video package already ready to go for this. So kind of sounds like it's already set in stone, but whatever. Pin or submission is the way you win, or by throwing your opponent into a pool of orange juice and bubbly. Yeah, champagne and orange juice. And there's going to be, did I hear this right, 80 gallons? Yeah, I looked it up, and a small child's kiddie pool is about 3 times the amount of 80 gallons, so that doesn't sound like that much at all. I mean, think about it, like a gallon of milk, but 80 of them, that's a lot of milk, but when you're trying to make something to throw someone in, where presumably their whole body would go in and be submerged, it's not that much. So Orange, he gives a thumbs up for this match, so the match is official now. No contract needed, just a little thumbs up. And the Inner Circle comes down with a bottle in their hand. Why? Because they're going to toast. Or in the Inner Circle, they attack. And Judas Effect on Orange Cassidy. So it's just like the same old that we saw. I personally not very interested in this. I feel like I just saw this exact same thing a few weeks ago. And they had their match. But, you know, you got to do the tiebreaker. So, and there's going to be a pool of orange and bubbly. I mean, this sounds like the most WWE match I've ever heard in my life. For all the people that were looking for something different from AEW, this does not seem like it. But they take Orange Cassidy, hang him upside down, and start pouring bubbly on him. It looks like that Orange Cassidy was getting waterboarded, but Orange Cassidy sells it like he got sprayed with NyQuil. It looked like he couldn't be bothered. Next up, we have the Elite. It's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks taking on the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and John Silver and Alan Angel. So you got 3, 4, and 5. Entrances are now back, and we see, John and Alex put their mask on once they get to the ring, so that's a thing that they do. For some reason, we see a chair used on the outside. The referee didn't do anything because it was an offensive move. Somebody was just holding it and they got kicked. But it's like, why do that in just some random match when there's not really a lot at stake? They do it because it was there to be done, I suppose. Alex and John, they have some pretty cool double team moves, surprisingly enough. So wearing those masks, putting them on together, synchronized, it's doing something. The Dark Order uses the rope, uses a rope to choke the Bucks here. Indy Taker and a one-wing Angel to Alan Angels, and Omega gets the pin. I don't know why they had to go so excessive on Alan Angels here, but that's what happened. Omega gets a chair, turns it upside down, and was going to powerbomb poor Alan Angels on that chair, but the Young Bucks stops the Bucks. The Bucks stops with the Young Bucks. I don't know why Omega went crazy. Maybe he's turning. Maybe he's going to just be more crazy. He's going to do insane moves. He's going to go over the top. Who knows? I don't know. That's what he did. Why was Omega tripping? He won the match. There was really no reason to trip out the way he did. That's a mystery to me. Alex Marvez announces that there's going to be a tag team gauntlet match for the number one contendership for the tag title. Okay, you rank the tag teams. Why do you need to do gauntlet matches? Why do you need to... You know what? What is the point of having ranked tag teams when at the last minute before you actually have a tag match or a tag team title match, you have to do something like this? It doesn't really make sense to me, but there it is. You got Tully. He is saying that these guys, FTR, they need to learn from the best to be the best. Okay, so they're not the best tag team, but Tully is going to help them be the best tag team, even though they just won earlier. And didn't they say that they're the number one ranked tag team? So, what? If you're the number one ranked, but you need somebody else to make you the best? Well, I guess they're not the tag champions, but isn't that just a matter of time? Okay. But Paige interrupts. He's got a drink in his hand, just like FTR does. They have like Bud Lights in their hand. And asked about that fake knee injury, FTR says that doesn't really concern you. FTR should definitely talk less. And their intensity on the microphone, or their persona, or the way they act, the way they behave, it just doesn't match their in-ring work. Their in-ring work, you know, it looks like they're a great tag team, they're very solid, they're tough, but then they get on the microphone and they seem very scatterbrained and just kind of dorky. And Tully almost fell asleep while Dax was talking, which didn't help. Now we have Darby Allin. He's taking on Will Hobbs. And Hobbs can't dodge Darby's hops. But Hobbs is too strong for them hops. Or Darby is too strong for Hobbs, rather. Because Hobbs is a big dude and Darby is quite small. But Darby does have the fast-moving pace. So Darby starts attacking the wheels of Hobbs. And... yeah, Darby coming at with a lot of fire, with a lot of intensity, with him coming very fast, hits a hard coffin drop and gets the pin. I like this match. Now Taz gets off a commentary to tell Darby that there will be a new member of Team Taz, and I'm thinking, oh, please, no. But luckily, there's a little bit of a swerve here because Taz tells us that his name is Darby as well, and I'm like, what is he talking about? He's bigger and better than Darby, though, and boom, it's Ricky Starks, but he's got face paint on just like Darby, and he's making fun of his promos. He's got his head hanged, and is saying that Brian Cage, he's making fun of him. Sorry, I just messed myself up in my notes. He's making fun of him. He's doing all this. And then Brian Cage attacks Darby from behind, and Ricky Starks comes down and says that he's not a clown. He doesn't need to wear face paint. He calls Darby a joke and hits him with the skateboard, then hits a kind of wonky coffin drop just for embarrassment. And that was good. I really liked that. I really liked Ricky Starks. I liked the whole promo, making fun of him. All of that worked to me. I'm excited to see Ricky Starks take on Darby Allin. So this is actually a feud that I can care about. Now we got Sami Guevara. He comes out with signs. They go to picture-in-picture, but Matt Hardy attacks during the picture-in-picture. This time he does not mistake somebody else. He doesn't mistake Sami Guevara for somebody else. He actually attacks the right person this time. He's unhinged. He's crazy. He's crazier than Moxley. What has happened to Matthew Hardy, young Matthew Hardy? Matthew Hardy gets he throws Sami Guevara through a table. And to echo last week, he gets a heavy chair, and the referees stop Hardy before he does the damage. And Matthew Hardy, although he's just being himself, he is a very, very angry young man. Yeah. Now we have Thunder Rosa. Why is she here? Well, she has the NWA Women's Championship, and she says that she's here to put the women's division on the map. So AEW couldn't put their own women's division on the map with their own women's champion in their own division. That speaks volumes. So I guess they're going to have a champion versus champion match so they can lend credibility to the NWA? Huh. Well, I'm glad to see Thunder Rosa there. That's all I can say about that. Veda Scott, she's the fourth person on commentary as we see the finals here for the Women's Tag Team Cup Finals. It's the Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rhodes with 2 action figures with Allie, and she has QT Marshall, and they both have Dustin Rhodes taking on Ivelisse and Diamante. And yeah, so they had to make a whole nother show on YouTube they produced just to do this Tag Team Cup tournament. Why? I guess so Brandy can have more matches. I don't know. But Brandy, she looked green and awkward. Allie's on the outside giving the laziest clap on the outside. Allie wasn't much better. I mean, she was better, but she was not solid in this match. QT interferes, and Brandy sets up for a pile driver and then walks to the rope awkwardly so she can get backdropped out of the ring and QT can catch her. You know, Brandy puts herself in these matches, and you know, I don't want to say that she's terrible or she shouldn't be in the ring at all, but to be featured the way she does, yikes. Hey, it's okay that she's in tag matches because they can cover it up, but man, being in this semi-main event spot, it was very obvious that she is not great. But Ivelisse and Diamante, they win. They win the cup. What is the point of that? To put them over, both of them individually or single? If they're not going to continue to be a tag team, then what's the point? If they're not going to have women's championships, what's the point? I don't even know what the point is. Are they going to have more women's tag team matches? Like they have a ton of guy tag team matches. I'm not really sure. But that's what they did. Maybe they just wanted to give them a big nod. That's what they did. Medusa was up there to congratulate them, but Ivelisse and Diamante just held up their native flag, and she walked off like, oh, I guess I'm not needed anymore. That was a little strange. Now we got the main event. It is Cody. He is the TNT champion. The championship is on the line. He's taking on Big Brody Lee here in the main event. And Cody looks like he wants Justin Roberts to hurry up with the intro. He's calling him the Prince of Wrestling, which, I mean, it just doesn't feel realistic for him to say something like that. Is he really? Is he really? I mean, he's good, but to force it like that, it doesn't feel authentic, and that is my problem with that, especially having Cody reacting the way he was, where he's essentially saying, okay, hurry it up, you know, just come on, dude, come on, let's get to it. My intro is so long. But maybe he's just doing a little butt kissing, man. Hey, you gotta suck up to the boss sometimes, don't you? I mean, I wouldn't, but whatever, especially when you're on national television and everyone can see you, but whatever. Brody kicks. Look, Brody is beating this man up. Brody cuts him off so quick. Because look, Cody, he tried. He started very fast coming after Brody, but Big Brody he cuts him off with a drop kick of all things, and then drops him to the outside, and Brody kicks Cody over the barricade, and yeah, they fight back into the ring. Cody is in a lot of trouble. Brody basically decimates Cody, hits him with the clothesline, and boom. Believe it or not, Brody Lee is the new TNT champion. It's weird, one, that you have two guys on the roster with the same finisher, a clothesline. It's weird for AEW to allow someone... Well, I don't want to say allow, because that's not the problem. The finisher isn't the problem. That's not even an issue, really. I just want to make the point that it's strange that you have Young Bucks doing tombstone pile drivers that don't always win the match. People kick out of a bazillion finishers in other matches. And then you got Brody Lee here winning with one clothesline. It's just weird to me that you can drop someone on their head multiple times and kick out every time with pile drivers, but somehow a clothesline is more devastating. It's just strange. It's just not very consistent. But yeah, we have a new champion. I really was not expecting that to happen, but hopefully this gets Brody Lee over, because I gotta say Brody Lee has not been very impressive to me in recent weeks. Tony, he interviews the new champion. The Dark Order come out for their support. Tony is not scared of the Dark Order for whatever reason. You would have thought, being around that monster and these other guys, he'd feel a little intimidated, but it was just another guy, other guys out there. Brody Lee says that Tony, somehow, he was one of the kind of guys that created the monster. I don't know how that's possible. He says that they're on top now, which the TNT Championship is not the AEW Championship. It's not the World Championship, even though Brody Lee probably wishes that it was. He says that executives like Tony created him. I don't get that. They put Cody on a stretcher after he's beat up here. They give him oxygen. Why? So he can make a speedy recovery in a couple of weeks and then come back for the title? It was very excessive, but it had a point to it. They start wheeling Cody out. He's on the stretcher. He's not moving. It looks like he's paralyzed. My goodness, he can't even breathe. He's got oxygen. And he gives an Orange Cassidy thumbs up, which, why would you do it like that? I guess it was like callbacks to like the Attitude Era with Mick Foley. I don't know. It was just strange. It's just strange for him to give the thumbs up when earlier in the night you ended a segment with essentially the same thing. It's weird. But what else is he gonna do? He can't say I'm good, you know. He can't give a wink. So I guess that's what you can do. I mean, you could have had somebody else be like, he's good. But they didn't do that. Arn could have done that, but for whatever reason they decided that was not the course to take. So yeah, they continue to attack. Brody tips over the stretcher. There's absolute chaos. And Brody hits this man wearing a neck brace with a bag. We don't know what's in the bag, but we find out it's the broken pieces of the TNT Championship. So he got his belt back. Not the way he wanted it, but he got it back. The Dark Order drags out QT Marshall and Dustin. My goodness, Brandy is coming out there. She's holding Cody for what seems like forever until Anna Jay attacks. So there you go, Brandy. She's got a brand new feud. They couldn't end the night without letting everybody know it's okay. Brandy is going to have further storylines here. She's going to have further feuds here in AEW, and it's going to be with Anna Jay. So good for her. Brandy and Cody are holding hands passed out as they go off the air. I just hope that this means more tag matches here in AEW. Yeah, that was AEW Dynamite. Let me know what you thought about this wild and crazy tag team late at night, and I will catch you guys next time.